Oh, and welcome back to the Metal Mixtape here on KSKQ 89.5 Ashland, Oregon, 94.1 Medford, Oregon, and streaming online on kskq.org. Woo! This is DJRAMO, and with me I got
Joel.
And you know who we're about to interview, man?
Yes, I do.
We got Ontogeny on the fucking line. What is up, my metal bashers?
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
What is up, you guys? How?
Just living the dream in California down here.
Bro, we were just talking about how much we love the Bay Area, dude.
Yeah, it's the place to be for me. I really love it. It's weather friendly for me.
Yeah, dude. No, absolutely, dude.
I grew up in the Bay Area, man. I'm from San Francisco proper and Pacifica, so yeah, awesome.
Hell yeah, good times, Bay Area, good times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we have a good metal scene down here. A lot of great bands came down from this area. I grew up on like the death metal stuff from Unique Leader that came from California, and
nice.
Yeah, just good scene down here.
Oh yeah, you know what I love about the Bay Area? Like I remember going home from like a concert like at 2 or 3 in the morning, and like I stayed at a hostel and people were like barbecuing outside at 2 in the morning.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
not in my neck of the woods, but yeah.
They were a little high, but you know the food tasted great.
Oh yeah, you know, a barbecue at 2 a.m. is the most tame stuff you can find in San Francisco. Really.
Let me ask you this. Are you a Gordo's Burrito fan?
Yeah, you know, I'm more of an El Farolito fan, actually.
Oh, weird.
I'm a Mission Street fan.
That's so weird. Somebody just mentioned that like 2 days ago. That's so freaking trippy.
Yeah, you know, they got the bombest quesadilla going. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, that place is awesome too.
So, Ontogeny, I've never heard of you guys until I heard Jim Powell announce you guys as the headliner on Metal in the Mountains, dude, and you guys absolutely blew my mind, dude. You guys like just had so many mixed styles, but you guys were like so progressive, like just technical, and then the music would just completely change up, dude. Like I was pretty impressed, man.
Right on, thank you. I appreciate you listening. Thank you.
No.
And, yeah, you know, it's kind of the project I've been working on my whole life, really. I've been a metal fan since I was like 4 years old when I first heard like Metallica, so I kind of grew up in the scene, so it's a growing project for my whole life, pretty much.
Dude, that sounds like an amazing story, dude, and we're gonna dive right into it. So tell us where your band, so for all the people listening in Ashland, Medford, and Southern Oregon, and around the world, tell us where your band's from, and introduce all the band members if you can.
Yeah, we're from San Francisco, California. My name's Nate Venerucci. This is Kenji Tsunami. He plays bass. Not pictured here is Keith Grimshaw on drums.
Dude,
we're doing a live stream. Sorry.
Oh, hey, that's awesome, man. Hey, tell everybody on the live stream, what up, dudes?
Yeah. Yep, they can hear you, too.
That's awesome. So how many people are in the band? Just 3?
Yeah, just 3 right now. Yeah, we're keeping it tight. We perform with like a looper pedal, so I'm able to harmonize myself and do leads, and Kenji holds down a lot of the low end for us, and Keith is just a monster on the drums, so he fills it out for us. So really, I'm getting a good sound out of 3 people, and I'm doing vocals as I play guitar.
Bro, I find that you find like a really clear tone when you have 3 band members. Like I've listened to so many bands that just have 3 members, and like everything just sounds so solid, you know? I don't know if it's like, you know, like, cause like just having so many people in there, it's, you know, I know obviously it's harder, but anytime I've seen a 3-piece, I've just always been blown away about how solid their sound is. There must be like a little bit of benefits to it.
Well, yeah, they probably practice. I'll let you know when we get there, you know. But yeah, we're like at a really fast tempo, so I think that's what makes the 3-piece more solid for us, right? Is like the faster the songs get, the more muddy it gets once you have a huge, like towering drum sound and stacked cabs and whatnot. So if you have a 3-piece, it always just fills it out better.
Yeah, completely, dude. And I mean, I feel like you can probably like pump out more songs having a 3-piece. It's a lot easier to travel as a 3-piece.
Yeah.
It's just I think everything in general, but that's awesome. Are you guys ever thinking about adding any more members? or are you guys just comfortable right now where you're at?
Right. No, we've had more members before. We've had multiple like singers separate, and we've had two guitar players a couple times, and really it just led to a lot of scheduling conflicts and people not holding their weight sometimes, or just not being able to do it and holding their weight. So it was kind of a mixed bag. So it's just a ease of use for the 3-piece, and with the looper pedal, we're actually able to do a lot of the harmonies that I want to do, and I'm able to solo and stuff. So it's working out great for us right now.
So Mr. Tsunami told me that like this project came together from like a couple other projects, right? A couple older projects.
Yeah. Keith Grimshaw, drum player, and I were in a band called Soul Asunder for a number of years together, and members of that band have been with me my entire life, like musically growing up together. They were in bands with my brother and whatnot, and we kind of grew up in the metal scene together, and we're in bands together, and we always do side projects for each other. It's kind of just a big musical family for me and all my friends, pretty much.
Dude, that's awesome. Like just constantly keeping the music alive, because I know like the older we get, the more we dive into music, it gets stressful, people's schedules, and I think that's pretty cool that you guys got this project going. And like, dude, I know I'm definitely a huge fan. So how long has this project been around? Like, how long ago did this Ontogeny start?
Well, really, our first album, I can't even remember the year, because I think of it from me and my brother jamming in my basement from when I was a little kid. That's when the name came around, and we just tried to learn and write our own songs together. So it kind of grew from there. And when I was like 14 years old, Pillars of Perversion was written, and it was never recorded for a number of years. And so it started from there pretty much when I was like, I would say 9 years old is when the death metal Ontogeny idea came around.
Okay, Ontogeny. I'm happy you pronounced it, because now I can pronounce it right. I totally apologize too. My co-host always gives me crap for Yeah.
We're pretty successful at having like everyone say Ontogeny or Ontogeny. We get oncology is a good one. Yeah, we're pretty good about getting on.
So what's the meaning behind your name, man? I gotta ask.
Well, we use it in terms of like implying an evolution. I knew it was going to be a project that's just with me my entire life, so it implies growth and evolution and something growing from like a simple to a complex level.
Dude, I like that. I like those meanings, Yeah. No, definitely, dude. So
it just worked with the project because I didn't want to define really what it was by the name, so it kind of worked with it.
Dude, no, that's badass. So is everybody in the band into similar styles, or is everybody pretty different in the band? Because I know a lot of bands I've talked to on the Metal Mixtape, everybody comes from a lot of different backgrounds. Do you guys all listen to similar music, or do you guys just like mix in all your influences?
There's definitely a lot of similar influences that we have. I think Kenji's the hardest to predict with what he likes musically. He's more into stuff that I haven't heard before, so we're experiencing what Kenji likes nowadays. But me and Keith certainly align musically, and we've been kind of finding bands together, or musical life together, playing in multiple projects over the past 15, 16 years, So, but yeah, we're generally in the same style of music.
How do you guys go about the songwriting process? Like, does somebody come in with an idea, you guys all jam it out, or how do you guys usually go about writing a new song?
It's really just for me playing guitar right now. Like, it changes every album, but it's for me just playing guitar, and I just jam and play until something sticks in my head, and then I keep playing that idea. And what I'm doing nowadays is not recording that idea and seeing if it's something that sticks in my head just weekly when I play guitar. So that's how I know it's something that I think was memorable to me. So that's kind of what I'm doing nowadays for the album. So everything is something that it's not recording. It just I remembered, and it's stuck. So I'm liking this new process. But over the past, we've done the, recording stuff online, programming, not online, but on, like on Sonar or whatever, and programming drums, and then coming to Keith with the ideas, and then Keith changes the drums to make it his own idea, and then, Kenji learns the songs from there, and we come up with cool bass ideas based on the notes that the guitar is doing, pretty much.
So it kind of sounds like you guys just do it yourself, right? Do you guys do the whole recording process? Because I know Mr. Tsunami there, he does a lot. I've been seeing his videos, like the one he did for like Metal in the Mountains and all that. And like, are you guys pretty tech savvy? You guys recording your own songs, or do you guys like go into a studio for that?
We've self-produced all of our albums. Actually, I have a pretty cool space in San Francisco where we're able to record our own music, and it makes it another part of the process for me that I really enjoy, and it actually helps in the songwriting process too. We record stuff and we can change ideas more fluidly when you aren't worried about having to spend money for it, and it kind of makes it more of a fun thing for me just over time to be able to work on and try to get better at recording and learn something new.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What's sweet about doing it yourself is that, like, you're at your own will. So anytime, you want to go in and fix something or something doesn't sound right, you can just go in and fix it.
Yeah, and Kenji actually does all of our videos as well. He's been doing a pretty killer job making some cool ideas come to life for us as a band, and yeah, so it's all fun projects. We this last album we did our own artwork as well. We're kind of keeping it in house now and experiencing the whole creative process as a band, and it kind of making it exciting for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And I think like nowadays in the music industry, definitely the best avenue is doing everything yourself, because I know how how expensive things can get when you pile them up.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on what you're going for too. I mean,
true.
Some people get really frustrated with the whole recording process, and I certainly do as well. But I definitely have been in the mindset of I just want to play this fucking guitar. Oh, can I swear? I'm sorry.
Oh no, hey, you're
okay,
fine, brother. You're fine.
Yeah,
You're fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Some people get in the mindset of just wanting to play the parts and not have to worry about what they sound like or anything, and just have a professional do it. I happen to like that part of the process, and being frustrated sometimes and finding something that works for me. It's kind of a growing. It's part of the name, It's part of the growing experience that is this band for me.
No, dude. I completely agree, dude. So, I know you guys have I know Kenji. It's Kenji's his name, right? The bass player.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So he was telling me earlier about like this monster 8-string bass that he plays.
Oh yeah. So I play this bass called the NS Stick 8-string bass, and whenever I play it, people always ask me about it. So I kind of figured it might be a good idea to kind of talk about it a little bit here, because we got all the questions I'll probably get asked eventually.
Well, just hear about it, dude. Because I'll probably ask like how the rest of the band, how they complement your instrument, dude. But so what's with the 8-string, man? That sounds pretty complicated, dude. That's pretty hardcore for a bass. It's
actually not that complicated. It's just probably the easiest 8-string or the multi-scale bass that I've ever played. So NS Stick stands for Neil Steinberger Chapman Stick. So Steinberger, I don't know if you're familiar, but they're known for their headless basses.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fiber material. And then Chapman, I'm sure you know the Chapman Stick tapping instrument. So they had a one-off collaboration, and they created this bass. So it's halfway guitar, halfway bass, halfway Chapman Stick. So it has weird scale lengths, and it's kind of narrow as well, too. So it's very comfortable to play, even though it's an 8-string.
Yeah.
And what makes it a Chapman is the first fret actually pops up and dampens all the strings. So it makes me, my tapping way easier, is where I'd have to worry about muting all the strings. So it's a real cool instrument for me. And the reason why I prefer to have 8 strings when playing with this band is because Nate also plays an 8-string guitar, and when he does, he's tuned to E flat, which is an octave E flat. So, if I'm playing an octave below that on the bass, it just sounds like mud. So a cool thing that I do is actually use a capo, and I put it on the bass, and I'm in the same register as the guitar, and just makes everything sound so much heavier.
Bro, that is so freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I stuck with this bass is because it's so versatile and what we're trying to do.
Dude, I think that's freaking badass, you know? No, I could totally relate, man. I once played bass in a band, and I had a 6-string bass, and I literally tuned it the same way as my guitars did, and it was just like, translating the music was just like the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, especially when it's live. When you're super low like that, when you death metal tends to be lower. If you're tuning even below that in a bass, it just muds everything up. So this was a really easy compromise for me to do, is to go into the same register as the guitar and make everything, just complement everything and make everything sound so much heavier.
Dude, that's badass, dude. Yeah, that's kick-ass that you guys both play 8 strings. Here's a quick side note question. What do you guys think about like the evolution of like the guitars? Because I remember like 20 years ago, there wasn't like people playing 9 strings. You see Jared Dine with like that 16 string. You see, basically like the standard nowadays is like a 7 and an 8. Like what do you guys think about like the evolution? Just as a quick side note question.
I think that we're all gonna be playing harps eventually.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool, actually, a harp guitar.
I'm down with this idea.
I mean, I think anything could be cool as long as you make cool music out of it.
That's true.
I'm all about songwriting and not about what you're playing in the end. If for me, extended register, the guitars really worked. They allowed me to do really broad chords, and I kind of grew up listening to extended register when I first heard, when I was like 4 years old, listening to like Korn. The 7-string was the first thing I ever heard, and then listening to Meshuggah later was like even lower than that. So I grew up with extended range, and then it just came easy to me.
Dude, no, that's badass. I love the evolution, man. It's pretty mind-boggling watching like these people shred on these guitars, like just breaking new levels. I'm totally all for it.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of great metal being made right now. There's lots of cool bands out there for sure, and extended range, just if you use it well, you can do a lot of cool stuff with it for sure, and a lot of people are. A lot of inspiring guitar players. Meshuggah is my favorite band in the world, and they play 8 strings, so that was the whole reason I played extended range when I first got my 7-string, and I'm very happy I did.
Dude, that's awesome. I wonder, were they one of the first bands to play all 8 strings, Meshuggah?
I think
8 strings, yeah.
I believe so.
I think when Nothing came out, I don't even know if they played 8-string guitars when Nothing came out. I think they played 7-string guitars just tuned to 8-string registers, but the reissue they played 8 strings. So the first time the register was played that I ever heard was Meshuggah on Nothing. But I mean, I could be entirely wrong and have an entire group of people screaming at me.
Hey, if you know the answer to this, go ahead and call into the radio station. You can correct us on here. We are totally down. So, dude, I'm really excited because I get to see you guys live here in like 10 days. It's going to be pretty badass, dude. How'd you guys?
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
How'd you guys get in the mix with Mr. Jim Powell and mandolin and stuff? Like, did they did they see you at a show, or you guys just always been homies?
No, actually, we heard about the show through, I believe it's his friend or bandmate.
Micah. Oh yeah, Micah's a legend, dude.
Yeah, Micah's our original singer as well. He was on Pillars of Perversion. He's a great friend of ours, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. He contacted us about playing the show, and I'm really excited to see Micah and see the scene up there and play a show in the woods. It's gonna be fun. Yeah,
no, it's pretty badass, dude. I'm looking forward to it, dude. It's gonna be an all-day festival. It's gonna be totally badass, and no, it's gonna be exciting. Do you guys tour often? Like, do you guys come up north often, or do you guys usually like stick to your area? Have you guys done some tours? Like, what has the band's done so far as reaching out?
We've done small like weekend warrior tours. We've done 2-week-long tours. And we're starting to branch out more. We have every potential to play up north anytime soon. We're trying to get up there. We just played Las Vegas. We just played Arizona and San Diego. So we're going to get up north probably early next year.
Dude, That's badass, dude. What are some of your guys' challenges right now as a band? Like, I know touring is pretty hard. I know my band's about to go on our first tour, and it's already just so stressful, dude. How do you guys, how do you guys do it to plan it all out? Do you guys like all have work and have like full-time lives besides the music?
Oh yeah. I work like 60 hours a week, and then, you know, still try to play music, and there's no way to not do it. You know, it's no one plays death metal for money, that's for sure. Especially at the scale that like we're playing it. There's no money to be had. It's all just for the love of metal music and the love of playing music. So yeah, I mean, I work my ass off during the day. I come home, and I've been playing guitar since I was 7 years old. So it's something I've always done. I've always enjoyed it. It calms me down. It's my thing for fun. So there's no reason to not do it. And writing songs is what I've always worked on. So it's kind of something I'm always going to do.
No, I completely agree, dude. I feel like music is something that like nobody could ever take away from you. You know. I know. For me, it's always been like my antidepressant. You know, like I can never be sad without my guitar. Like I remember like my parents used to ground me as a kid, and it would be funny because they'd ground me to my room, and I'd just sit in there and play my guitar.
Yeah, well, that's like my dream. That's awesome. Getting grounded to play guitar sounds sick.
But hey, they caught on though. I eventually got grounded, and I was like, "Where the hell's my guitar?" Like, you're not playing it, and that's when I really threw a fit.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been playing guitar?
I've been playing guitar since I was 14. I'm 30 now, so
hell yeah, good time.
So 16
Shredding.
years, but. No, I completely agree, dude. It's it's like our left nut. You know, it's just when it's not there, it's just
something I do. I'm inspired by music all the time, and I hear things in my head that I want to get out. So I play it and I record it and I have fun with it. So as long as I'm having fun, I'm gonna do it.
Dude, that's badass. So I don't think I ever asked you, how would you describe your music? Like, would you put it into any subgenre, or would you say, if you could describe your band in 4 genres, how would you describe it? Or just maybe 4 words you can descriptive words.
Yeah, I definitely don't like to assign a genre to it, I guess, but I mean, there's definitely like death metal in it. There's progressive stuff in it. There's jazzy stuff in it. It's kind of like I said, it's my musical growth coming out. So there's lots of stuff from my early inspirations of listening like Sepultura and Metallica and Tool and that stuff, and then growing into the Meshuggahs and Cannibal Corpse and that era of death metal, and then now listening to a lot of jazz stuff, and like Tigran Hamasyan is an amazing piano player that I find to be extremely heavy, and finding the Mars Volta was a big changer for me. So like,
oh, bro,
kind of, it's just the growth of music that I've gone through. Cryptopsy. So I have this really heavy death metal inspiration that's like from the Bloodthirst era of Cannibal Corpse, and even Cannibal Corpse is like my favorite death metal band. I love them.
That's
Cryptopsy, and yeah, so it's just growing up with that music and getting inspired from that music, and just playing guitar and trying to get better at guitar through writing music.
No, I did. I completely agree, and I want to throw in a side funny note that you were talking about the Mars Volta. So I've been listening to the Mars Volta since I was a kid. I used to listen to At the Drive-In and all that. And so my name is Omar Rodriguez, and the guitar player is Omar Rodriguez Lopez. At least once a week, I get tagged as that guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I had one of my friends go like, dude, this guy keeps tagging you, man, in all these Mars Volta videos, saying how much you inspire him, dude. And I was like, oh, just let him, dude. I was like, just let him. He'll eventually find out.
You should just start wearing extremely tight pants and shimmying down the streets all the time with guitars.
And grow an afro.
Yeah, exactly. You can become him slowly, and then your first tour will be a Mars Volta level tour. At least.
Dude, that's awesome. What would you say? What would you say is one artist you listen to that is completely different than the music you play? Like this something like one of your guilty pleasures that like a lot of people don't know you listen to on your free time.
I don't really feel guilty for anything.
Well, not guilty, but you know what I mean. Like something.
The stupidest band I listen to is definitely. I mean, Korn gets made fun of all the time, but it's all the old stuff I listen to, and I grew up with it, so it has a small, a part of me that I just, I'm not embarrassed. I love that first album and second album, and I'll still bump it to these days. So I guess Korn, but that's kind of still in our genre of metal music. So
oh yeah, Korn shreds.
Out of the genre is Tigran Amassian, like I mentioned. I mean, I love all styles of music. I'm seeing Herbie Hancock tomorrow with Kamasi Washington and Ronald Bruner Jr. on drums and Thundercat on bass and Robert Glasper on piano. It's going to be an amazing jazz show. So definitely a lot of musical styles. Kenji, what's your guilty pleasure?
Well, it's not guilty, but Ethel Dua, I guess, would be the weird band that I listen to that they don't understand.
I know them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a weird band. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Joel, my co-host? What's a band people wouldn't expect that you listen to all the time?
I think I've mentioned on several occasions that I like Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers is freaking awesome. I'm also a pretty big Beatles fan, but even beyond that, I'm a really big Paul McCartney fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm a John Lennon fan.
Oh, right on. That's cool. I like Lennon too, but Paul McCartney just does it for me. I grew up with that.
Yeah.
Me and my
John
friends
Lennon was way more of a bummer sometimes, so I liked his stuff a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me and my friends. It's funny that you guys are all saying that because like I used to listen to a lot of George Harrison.
Oh, whoa.
So it's like I gotta make time.
I like George Harrison too. It's funny though, poor Ringo Starr.
Yeah, well, no one really cares about Yellow Submarine except me because that was the very first song I learned how to play on guitar, even though it's the stupidest Beatles song ever. So I'll song Yellow Submarine just to where I learned like 5 chords playing that song. That's the worst Beatles song too. I started with the worst one.
I actually love Yellow Submarine just because of the movie, and that's mostly because I saw it on acid one time. Let me tell you, if you ever want a good time, take acid and watch Yellow Submarine.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there's lots of colors and lots of swirling objects in there that could envelop the room for sure.
It is a great one.
So, all right. Before I ask the final question, I'm gonna ask this question. What are your guys' goals and plans for the rest of the year? What do you guys want to accomplish before the year's over?
Well, I'm writing a new album right now. I don't know. It's definitely not gonna be done before the year's over, but we hope to play more shows. We're gonna do Metal in the Mountains. We're maybe looking to do something in December. We're still trying to verify it, but yeah, we're mostly just writing an album right now. We just released an album at the beginning of the year, and now I think it's time to get more material out. I have a couple songs written already, so getting something new out.
Dude, that's badass. So we have about 5 minutes left in the interview, but I'm gonna do the top of the hour really quick. I want to let everybody know that you're listening to the Metal Mixtape here on KSKQ 89.5 Ashland, Oregon, 94.1 Medford, Oregon. Stream online on kskq.org. So it's Ontogeny, right?
Ontogeny.
Ontogeny. Damn it.
There you go.
Damn it. Sorry, guys. I love you guys.
Proctology.
Proctology?
Optometry.
Geometry?
Yeah. Geology.
Astrology?
Yeah.
All right, I think we ran through them. All right, guys. So I always like asking this question because a lot of times people have funny stories. But have you guys ever had like any crazy malfunctions on stage, or any accidents, or any funny stories? Like anybody getting too drunk, somebody falling into their amp, somebody just doing something on stage that just wasn't planned. You guys have any funny stories like that?
I guess the most recent one was driving through the Arizona desert and I got stung by some sort of cutty bug, and I'm like allergic to some bugs, so I didn't know what it was. So I was at a gas station. There wasn't any hospitals for hella far, so I figured I'll just take a bunch of Benadryl, and I'm kind of a big guy, so I took the recommended dosage was 1, and I took 4 Benadryl when I was driving, and I didn't realize how powerful Benadryl was, but man, oh man, that tranquilized the hell out of me. So as soon as I showed up to the venue, I pretty much just laid out on the floor of the venue, and
you passed out in front of the stage.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh
wake
man.
Up. I didn't wake up until we played, and then I played a show, and then I drove like 17 hours home to the Bay Area after that. So it was a fun night for sure.
Dude, 1 Benadryl knocks me the hell out.
Yeah, I'll tell you, 4 is a whole experience that's awful, and I'll never do it again. It was a really bad idea. I was like, oh no, I got to get like quadruple the dosage for quadruple the help of this sting, but it was so dumb. You know, sometimes I don't make the best decisions, but I'm here today, so it's good.
That's awesome. What about you, Mr. Tsunami? Mr. Kenji? Do you have any crazy stories that ever happened to you?
Not with this band, really. I don't know if I should talk about anything like from a long time ago, so not yet. I've only done 1 tour with them, so more stories will be coming. Hopefully in December.
Hey, dude, that sounds good. All right, so we're getting towards the end of the interview. You guys sent me a bunch of tracks. I believe right after we do the interview, I'm going to play Living Witness.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys have some pretty long, progressive tracks, man. Wasn't that like the 9-minute monster?
Yeah, that's the 9-minute song. It was also our first video from the album, and it kind of sets the theme for the album, like lyrically and musically for me. So it worked being long.
Dude, that's awesome, dude. How do you, before I ask for all your platforms, do you guys just go into like the writing process saying like this is going to be a 9-minute song, or are you guys just like writing masterpieces? Because I always feel like the longer the song, and like if you do it right, man, it just comes out like a monster.
A lot of people actually say writing a short song is the hardest thing to do, and I tend to agree sometimes. But I mean, for me, it's just if I get the idea out. All my songs kind of I focus really hard on thematic stuff, like note-wise or rhythmically. So things are puzzle pieces of other riffs to come, and different time signatures of the same riff come around. So it all depends if I got that whole idea out. If I have a number of riffs that I want to get to in the terms of my idea, I don't really look at a number of how long the song is. I kind of just wait till the idea finishes itself.
Dude, that's badass, man. All right, dude, we're getting towards the end of the interview. We're going to play one of your guys' songs. We're going to play songs for the rest of the hour. Let everybody know where they can find your band, all your platforms, like your Facebook, Instagrams, everything, where people can find you.
Well, if you just look up Ontogeny on Facebook, it's spelled just like that. Ontogeny, ONTOGENY.
Okay.
.bandcamp.com is where you can find it as well too. We're unfortunately not on Instagram, but I'm on Instagram. I'm under Satan Claus Music. If you want to follow that, I post a bunch of stuff too, ontogeny related as well too. So, but mainly we're on Spotify, Facebook. We have a YouTube account, so just type in Ontogeny, or the song that we're about to play right now, Living Witness. We have a music video for it. Just look it up online, and yeah, 9-minute epic.
Well, dude, ontogeny, like, that's it. I didn't say it right, did I?
Ontogeny.
Ontogeny. There you go.
Yeah.
I think what's that? Like, I might be a little stupid. What's that? What was that? What was that? Alex Jones told Joe Rogan. He's like, Joe, I'm kind of retarded.
Oh yeah, well, I'm a little retarded.
Yeah. Well, dude, it was so great talking to you guys. I can't wait to play some of your tracks. I can't wait to see you guys live at Metal in the Mountains. There's so much hype, and I know the hype is gonna be real, and you guys are just gonna slay it, dude. And I want to say,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I want to say, I appreciate you guys for coming on, and this was a badass interview. I can't wait to show Joel and everybody in Southern Oregon and around the world your music.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, right on for playing our songs, and hope to see everyone at shows, and come and hit us up at the show at Metal in the Mountains. We'd love to talk to you in person.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, brothers, you guys have a good rest of the night, all right?
All right.